All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today we are back with another video, and this time we are back with something a bit different, something that I thought would be a little bit cool, and this was why we're here with 10 fragrances that changed my life. Now, I wouldn't say they changed my life in the literal sense. It's more or less how I operate here on YouTube. So these fragrances hold a special place in my heart because they kind of sparked this whole YouTube fragrance journey. Now, we relaunched the Big Beard Business channel on March 5th, 2017, and this video, or this fragrance that I'm mentioning, is the first fragrance that we actually did a review on. This fragrance had been in my collection for about a year or so, and it was a gift to me from the missus. I really enjoyed it, and I thought I should tell the world about it, and that's why we launched it, or reviewed it, and this one is Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. Now, I talked about this fragrance a number of times over and over again, and I recently dropped a video, if I were to lose everything, what fragrance would I pick up first? And I listed, I think, 5 or 10 fragrances that I would pick up immediately, and Tom Ford Tuscan Leather was one of those fragrances. One, because it holds a special place in my heart because it was a gift to me from the missus before we started doing this YouTube fragrance reviewing journey, and then also, I just think it's super dope. All right, so obviously this holds a special place in my heart because it's a great fragrance overall. Fall, winter, you rock this thing like a boss. And then also, this is the first fragrance review that I ever did. So Tom Ford Tuscan Leather on the list today of changing my life. Now, this next spot is held up for 3 fragrances. Now, Tom Ford Tuscan Leather was the first official review done on the channel. However, these next 3 comprise my first list of fragrances on the channel. And this was the top 3 most complimented creeds within my collection. And here they are. Yes, man, they were Creed's Green Irish Tweed, you had Creed Aventus, and then you also had Silver Mountain Water, which took the #1 spot. Most people probably would have thought Aventus took that spot, but no, it was definitely a Silver Mountain Water. I didn't know much about doing lists because it was my first list ever, but I thought, again, this is another video what I should share to the world and let them know fragrances that worked for me. And these are the 3 fragrances that were in my collection that garnered the most compliments from the House of Creed during that time. I may do like an updated video on that. I think that might be cool, but definitely fragrances that I really enjoy, and I still talk about them a lot today. Obviously, you have this one, you know, it's a G. Aventus is a G, and then you also have the Porcelain God. But those are 3 fragrances that was the first list on my channel. So obviously I got to understand how to do fragrance lists after that. So that's kind of funny for me. So those are the first 3 fragrances from a niche perspective to be on my channel in a list format. 3 fragrances to change my life. 3 + 1 = 4. Now, for those of you who have been around this channel for a while, then you know that this channel did not start off as a fragrance channel. Now, it started off with a bunch of variety type of videos, and then we morphed into a fragrance channel. So I talked about the first fragrance review. I talked about the first niche top 3, and we got some traction there. So I decided to double down, and I did the top 3 most complimented Mugler fragrances within my collection, and here they are. Yes, man. So they were Ultra Zest. You had Pure Havana, and then you also had Pure Malt. Did I do that in the right way? Yes, Pure Malt. These were the 3 fragrances that got me the most compliments from Mugler at the time. Listen, man, I've been a fan of Mugler fragrances for a long time. They have that patchouli note that kind of stays within all of their fragrances, at least from the Amen line and also from the women's side of this thing here. But that patchouli note is pretty much, like you can't forget the patchouli note that is in this one. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of the original Amen. I got samples of that years and years ago when I was in high school, and I used to wear it sparingly. But these are the first 3 fragrances that I did in a list format that were non-niche, and these were the 3 most complimented fragrances within my collection of Mugler fragrances, man. So again, they hold a special place in my heart because they began to push me into this fragrance reviewing journey as the Tom Ford Tuscan Leather picked up views for me. The Creed's most complimented fragrances picked up views, and obviously this one did as well, which is why it holds a special place in me heart. So we are 7 fragrances down and we have 3 more fragrances to go. This next fragrance sparked Cologne Week on my channel. So the missus and I were sitting back one day and we were like, hey, these fragrance videos are doing better. Maybe we should give the people what they want. So we decided to do a Cologne Week, which was the first time that we ever dropped 5 videos of fragrances in a row. All right, and the first fragrance to kick off this series of Cologne Week was from Tom Ford as well, and this one is Tom Ford Rive d'Ombre. Now, Rive d'Ombre has since been discontinued, but this one is very, very nice. If you had the opportunity to get this one in your collection, I would urge you to do so. Again, at this point, I was living in Florida. I was down in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and this one to me is perfect for that type of environment. This one is the River of Amber. This one has citrus in it, and again, this is a fragrance that you would enjoy to have in your collection, at least in my humble opinion. I think you would. So Tom Ford's Rive d'Ombre really kicked off the journey of deciding if this was going to become a fragrance channel. We kicked it off with this one, and it didn't get the best feedback. And when you look at it at the feedback perspective, I mean, the amounts of views relative to the other videos that we launched, but it was like, yeah, you know, we might be on to something. So Tom Ford's Rive d'Ombre changed my life as it sparked the full push and journey into this fragrance reviewing setup. The next fragrance on this top 10 list comes from Prada, and this one was also dropped during the Cologne Week, fragrance week. And this one was really a fragrance that I told people to buy, or I talked about the reason that you should buy it based upon just my experience with it, and then how I felt it competed or fared against one of the more popular fragrances at that time, which was Dior Sauvage. And Dior Sauvage is still a powerhouse fragrance. It garners a ton of compliments. It's going to continue to work for you, but I felt based on all things, price, the way the fragrance smelled, just everything considered, I felt that this one was a better fragrance and a better buy. And that one comes from Prada, and this one is Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. Now, this one also taught me to take shit from people on the internet, man, because a lot of people disagree, like, you know, Dior Sauvage is better, you suck, you don't know what you're talking about. And that was the first time I experienced that in the fragrance setup. But if you know me in real life, if you know me, I don't give a shit. All right, so it doesn't really impact me, but this one was really one I'm like, oh yeah, people will disagree with me, which is fine, man. So Prada Luna Rosa Carbon holds a special place in my heart. I ran with this one for a long time, telling people to purchase this one over Dior Sauvage. One, it's slightly different, but I felt that the differences in this one was better when you compare it against the EDT. Let me make that clear. So Prada Luna Rosa Carbon, in my personal opinion, much better than Dior Sauvage EDT. Price point, much better than Dior Sauvage EDT. Again, that's just me. And this one was talked about in the Cologne Week, that first 5 fragrances that we went through for Cologne Week. This one held a place. There you have it, man. Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. And then the final fragrance on today's list of fragrances that changed my life comes from Paco Rabanne, and this one is none other than 1 million. All right, just the original 1 million. I've really enjoyed this fragrance. I've had multiple bottles of 1 million, and this one was the final fragrance in the week of you know, the Cologne Week. All right, so this one was the final fragrance review, and I think on a standalone fragrance review, this is probably one of my most viewed standalone fragrances here from Paco Rabanne, which is 1 million. All right, Versace Eros is up there as well, but I think when I look at all the videos holistically across the board, I think the most views on my channel of single videos came from my beard videos, which are, for the most part, most of them have been placed in like unlisted, so you can't see them. But this one here definitely provided or added to the money that the YouTube brought in at that time, which was very minimal. But a lot of that came from this one in terms of views. So 1 million, I keep wanting to say 1 million lucky. 1 million, man, great scent. Overall, this one was good for clubbing, you know, powerhouse scent. It had great performance. Performance has slacked off a bit now with the different reformulations of this thing, but definitely one that I'm happy to have in the collection, and will probably continue to have in there just for nostalgic reasons. But those, yes, this one here and these other 9 fragrances are fragrances that changed my life. Now, they didn't change it in terms of, you know, how I operate in the day-to-day. I guess it did, because now I do these fragrance reviews for you on a daily basis. So those are the fragrances that really kicked it off, the ones that sparked the journey into this fragrance game, man. If you want to hear more about that process, then let me know, because you know we got some things that we cooking up, and we would love to know if you'd like to hear those things. All right, man. So those are 10 fragrances that changed my life. In terms of this here, man, obviously I have other fragrances that sparked me into just enjoying fragrances in themselves, but I wanted to bring those to you for that reason. So there you have it, man. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the goddamn